Yeah.
Another one that I did want to ask, you have had pretty tremendous growth on Twitch in only like 5-ish months on the platform. What's been
You looked at my, oh God. Yeah,
what
you looked at my stats. It's crazy. It's
what's been
wild.
like a big key to your success, would you say, during your whole journey?
Watching other streamers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to make a point to mention you were the streamer that made me decide to have a full face camera for my just chatting screen. Like I remember the moment I'm like, Zeph looks really good and he looks very warm and welcoming, having his big face there. Like I think I need to do that, and that is what I do. I just wish I had more interesting crap in the background, like those little leaf lights. I think not to I think there's a couple of things. One was I played, and I've mentioned this in your channel before, like when you do a shout out or whatever. I played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
That was like my first full gameplay through, and it also happened to be like my first playthrough. And because this game is so old, from like 2004, there aren't a lot of folks playing this game for the first time. So I grabbed a lot of regulars playing this game, which I am like so tremendously thankful for, because I thought that, you know, once the game was done, they were going to just like move on to another KOTOR stream. But they didn't. They stuck around. And so thank you all. Thank you. So it was that consistency of playing the same game. I think that was helpful. It just gets tough because I get bored pretty quickly. And if I'm stuck, I get frustrated pretty quickly. That's the thing that I had to kind of keep in check, where it's like, I died approximately 9 million times and this boss is taking me 3 hours. No joke. There's one boss that took me 3 hours to get through, and it was quite embarrassing.
I feel this so much with Dark Souls.
And my chat loves it when I've played Dark Souls like approximately 2 hours. They loved it, but I hate it. I hate it so much. But I'll probably do it during my 24 or something, just to.
I did have a 24 question too. Coming up later.
Yeah, that'll come up later. The other thing was, you know, watching streamers and really getting involved in their communities. So Argue Barmies, I think, was like one of the streamers that I, you know, got to know and watch a lot and learn a lot from the community building aspect. He has a very engaged community, and it's a very tight-knit community. It's very, I love Argue Barmies. Argue Barmies is like,
same.
Oh, I'm not worthy.
His green screen effects are truly like next level. He's amazing. I
DM'd him asking like, hey, so what do you do for your alerts that your mods can put up at the bottom of your screen? And how do you set up the chat announcements for when VIPs and subs come in and chat for the first time? And he was super open about all of that. And I thought he would be very like, no, this is mine.
It's my secret.
He was like, these are my secrets. And he was just so open and genuine and thoughtful, and he's just such a blessing, honestly. And so I took, if not outright stole, some of his like elements in his stream, you know, with my own twist, obviously.
Right.
And I've said, hey, FYI, is this okay? I will give you like, I'll throw bits and subs and things as like royalties for this. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. And you know,
everybody was like copies everybody. So
he was the one that got me to step up my game from a technical perspective. So that's when I invested in overlays. Like I reached out to a designer and got like a dream starting thing and all that, and figuring out how to welcome, you know, regulars and build this like little pocket. And he is also the type of person who is like super very welcoming and tries to make sure that everyone feels at home.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I want to make sure that I bring that to my channel, where it's like someone comes in and they feel like, okay, cool, like I'm good here. And I think for me, the biggest challenge in doing that is paying attention to chat and making sure I have addressed everybody, answered questions, or responded to talking points and stuff like that. But sometimes it gets busy, or we're playing like words on stream or something like that, and it's just like scrolling with guesses, and I miss somebody, and that's the worst feeling, when you miss a potential regular.
And it happens, like we're only human, but it still sucks. Yeah. And I think most people are understanding too, hopefully.
But yeah, the growth has been very humbling. There are days where I'm like, I don't understand how this is happening. But I think a big part of it was, making a lot of new friends, and being present and engaging in their communities as well. Definitely not just networking. I thought that was, at first I thought I was very selfish. At first I thought that was like dog eat dog, everybody for themselves. I need to be the best, and I don't need any help. But then I realized that's not how this works. That's not how, I don't think that this is how anybody becomes successful, unless they're like god tier at a game, or they're in an esports thing. Not to knock anybody. It's just, for me, lady that didn't play video games until like the last 5-6 years, really. I needed to find some or other creative avenues, and I just naturally like talking to people and getting to know people. And so and I don't even know how I found you. So that's the other thing that I've been thinking about lately with Twitch. There's this serendipity to it that I find very fascinating, that I'm sure lots of people wish they can bottle and sell. But I don't know, it's just this magic of, wow, I'm here. Wow, this really resonates with me. And taking notes and engaging however you can, and giving back, whether it's financially, with bits and subs and all that, or contributing to the conversation, because I feel like, as a streamer that likes to focus on chat, like I'm very talkative. I don't know if you've noticed, I like to talk a lot. And sometimes I'm like, oh god, I'm like the only person talking in this channel. But I feel like it's good just knowing folks who are newer at it. Like, it's good to have somebody to riff off of. And so now I just talk, and I figure I'm gonna have to lurk at some point, so I will shut up at some point. and other folks can chime in. But it's great. It's great being in these different communities and finding the parallels and the differences, and being like, oh, that's really cool. It's really interesting. So
I feel like it's definitely a lot better to chat more on Twitch than it is to not chat at all. Because sometimes you go on those channels and just they're completely so focused on the game, they don't pay attention to chat whatsoever. And I'm of the mindset, like, people stream for different reasons. Some people stream because they want to be, the biggest streamer on the platform. They want to make a career out of it. They want to go to the moon with it. Super cool. And other people like just want to play video games, and they're like, if I'm playing games, why not streaming? Cool. And then other people just like want to hang out with their friends. So everybody kind of has their own reason to be on the platform. But if growth is a big thing for you, you have to pay attention to chat. And because like chat's the whole reason most people are here. So without chat, we're all we're all just playing video games essentially. So and then Yeah, I think it's just really cool how people can be so creative and take other things from people that they've seen. Because the whole thing you're talking about with alerts and stuff, I've also thought about like green screen ideas specifically because of Argue Barmies and Super Murgatroyd. The two of them have really cool, like when you sub, like they come up, like themselves come up on screen and like wave, or like I always knew you'd come back.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's just such a cool original way of doing. And I mean, like, gifs are fun and cool animations are fun, but like when it's your person and you're waving or smiling as like a green screen alert, it's the best thing. I love it.
It's fun. I always laugh when an alert like that comes up for Barmies and he's wearing the same shirt
each time. Yes, it's like, we know you did this all in one take. Or when it pops up and it looks like his beard is quite a bit shorter, and now it's
my God,
he's growing that out.
He was so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed until Miyazaki came, and then it just love you, Barmies.
I love Barmies too. Barmies has hands down been one of the thing you were talking about earlier about just how everybody, I don't know if it's like cross-pollination is the word for it or whatever, but like
cross-pollination, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of knows everybody, and like you kind of meet other people from here and you're like, oh, I saw you in that stream. That's really cool, and vice versa. That to me is hands down one of my favorite aspects about Twitch is like seeing you in a different stream, and I'm like, oh, Iris is here. I think this is going to be a cool streamer then.
Like, oh, Zeph is a mod for this stream. Cool. Barmies has talked about Twitch as like a neighborhood, and everyone has like their own spot within a borough.
Right.
And I have thought of like his raid outs to other, folks in his circle as like bar crawls. And it really does feel like a bar crawl where it's like, all right, let's go to the next place, and it's the same vibe. Sometimes it's a little different because every streamer brings a different flavor to their channel, but the vibes and the company, it's usually the same. And the folks that aren't necessarily common to both, like, they're also pretty cool too. And so you're just meeting all these really cool people, and expanding your horizons. It's like a big spider web that just branches out further and further, and just like, wow, like, when does it end? Really, really fascinating to think about how endless, how
spider web
like,
of Twitch.
The spider web of Twitch, and how intimate it can feel, even though the platform is ridiculously huge, and that there are literally millions of people on it. And yet you'll go in, you lurk, you realize, you go back into your tab, you've raided out, and you're like, wait, I know these people, but who is this? And then you just meet a new pocket, and you integrate with that too. It's just really cool.